Hi, and welcome to Cat's Corner. Just named it Cat's Corner because I tend to name everything that because I go by Cat on most places. My name is Catherine, or Cat, go figure. Um, and I have decided to start, I guess this will be a podcast, but it's more of me trying to journal what I'm doing to try and hopefully keep up with my projects and actually be able to see, I guess, how many I can get done, keep me on track to make sure I can get as many projects done as possible. The past year or two, it's been a little bit more slack lately, mostly because we have an almost 2-year-old, so that first year was a big adjustment for us, and I didn't really get much crafting-wise done. This past year has been a lot better, so let's hope that that keeps up. So, what sort of crafts do I do? You may ask. Yes, well, I do knitting and crocheting. I carve stamps. I also like to bake from scratch. We garden a lot. Guess that's not really crafts though, huh? Oh well. And try and make homemade goods from what we garden. Uh, I've also just recently, as a Christmas present, got a Cricut machine, so I will be attempting, probably not scrapbooking so much, but more into making cards and other things that I can use to stamp on, I guess. Um, oh, let's see if I can get you to see it. We just had a male bluebird. I don't know if you'll be able to see it outside. We just had a male bluebird land on our clothesline. It was very pretty. We are also birders. So seeing the birds is always very exciting, especially since we haven't been able to do that since our son was born. And you have to excuse me for the coughing. I live in South Louisiana, so the past 2 weeks has been really crazy weather-wise. So we have one day that's 70s, and the next day it's 30s. And just a couple days ago, we had what have they been calling it? The something frost vortex or whatever, winter vortex or something. So we have been in freezing temperatures, which is 32 for us. Yeah, that we consider that very cold. So yeah, yesterday I don't think it got out of the 30s at all. Today I'm not sure if it's supposed to or not. We'll see. But yeah, last night it got down to 18 degrees, which is very, very cold for us. So all the plants got to get covered and bundled up under the blankets. Pretty much. So sinuses have been very whacked the past couple weeks because of the weather changes. And also I have my mom's lovely allergies. So, hey. So back to the crafting and stuff, right? I say a lot. I will try that too, if anybody even watches. If you are watching this by some chance, hi. This is my first podcast, so I don't really know what I'm doing too much. Excuse the mad light up there. I've been trying to figure out where to actually set the camera up so that I don't get shadows all over. So far this is the best view, so you get the lovely view of our game closet that houses over 250 board games. Yay! My husband and I are big geeks. I am in our designated game room, which hopefully will soon be also considered part of my craft room, because I have no craft room now because my son has been born. So I have my stuff all over the place. So hopefully, eventually I can get my craft stuff all in one place. All my yarn is in my son's closet, which luckily right now he doesn't really use too much because he has not very many clothes. Well, he has a lot of clothes, but it's all short clothes, so it doesn't hang too low, and he doesn't have very many shoes because he's almost 2. He doesn't have the necessity to have lots of shoes yet, so he has his couple pair of shoes that we keep in the hall closet, so I can still keep my yarn in there. Oh. He is actually napping right now, which is why I'm able to do this, and hopefully I can do this on a weekly basis. I actually made a podcast a couple months ago and then deleted it because I'm still not sure whether or not I want to actually post this up. So, yeah. So, today is actually, what day is it? It is January the 7th, with all the Christmas and New Year's and everything being done. I'm actually going to, I guess, start on what I'm working on. I haven't finished really anything that I can post up because most of my things have been given out for Christmas presents. If you want to see what I made for Christmas presents, you can always go to my Ravelry account. My username is Catstraight, CATSTRAIGHT, and see what projects I have completed recently. My favorite, I will just say, let me go on and see, what was it? What was the name of it? Happy Potamus, the Happy Hippo Crochet Pattern by Heidi Bears. It is a paid pattern. I think it was like maybe $6. I don't even remember. But this is how mine came out. He wound up being fairly large because I used a large hook, and Joann's had a big sale on a lot of their cotton yarns and stuff, so I bought a bunch of that and used that. So that was, I think, a size a 4. And I'm not good at worsted weight, Aran, sock yarn. I haven't gotten into all that because I'm still learning, and I've been doing this for about 5 years now. And you think I'd know a little bit more than what I do, but I really don't. So I'll be learning more so I can hopefully explain better what I'm doing. My hippo turned out to be about 25 inches long and 12 inches high. So he was big, and he was lovely. So the person who got that absolutely loved him, but that was probably my most favorite thing to work up this year for Christmas. I had fun with him. He was a blast. Plan on making some more too. Maybe not quite so big. But what projects am I working on right now? I am working on 2 things that are still technically Christmas presents, and I still have one more to do, but that person we're not going to see for a while, so that one got pushed way to the back. But one thing I am working on with some of those cotton yarns, if I don't lose my place, is I had made my brother a crocheted beard because I don't know why, but he wanted a crocheted beard. So I knit up the crocheted part of the beard, and then I had my husband put in all the little tassels to make the beard, the beardy part, the hangy part, the whiskers. I guess that's what you call it. The hair. He put in the hair. So I didn't look at all the patterns, and I didn't want to do a hat for him because he said he didn't want a hat. I didn't realize whenever I made it, the pattern I did, it was the Viking beard hat, which I just did the beard, by Starlight Crochet, or Starlight. So it's Viking beard hat by Crafts by Starlight. Crafts by Starlight, I guess. So I just added a crocheted string to the end, thinking I could tie it and it would stay up, without looking at the other beards that had been made without a hat. Well, the ones without a hat, they have like a little thing that goes around the ear, and the beard part is shorter than the one that I made. So mine, it came up to like about the tip of the ear, and then I had the crocheted string to tie. And so that didn't really work out very well. So I'm going to be cutting off the crocheted tie. And doing it as the beard and the hat. But I'm not using the hat pattern that went with the beard. And my beard doesn't even look like their pattern, which I should have brought it in, but I just dropped my yarn. I'll show it once I finish the hat, but this is how far I have on the hat, which I've already ripped it out a couple ways because I'm not very good at just winging it, I guess you could say, which is what I usually tend to try and do, is just wing it, and it doesn't really work out very well. But I'm just doing a simple crocheted beanie hat, and it's in a brown color. I think it's the Barrett's cotton yarns, 100% cotton. Once the beanie is finished, which hopefully I'll get to finish it tonight, I am going to have my husband, again, because he has to have something to do with the Christmas presents, because I basically make all the Christmas presents nowadays, if I have time. So he doesn't really get to help out with Christmas presents too much anymore, because most people just get a handmade gift from me. So he is going to take the leftover brown yarn. I can't really, yeah. Still figuring out the lighting. And then I had in the beard a little bit of red and a little bit of gray. So he is going to take the brown, the red, and the gray, and we're going to make the beanie hair. So it'll have the buttons that he can button the beard to, depending on how tight he needs it or whatever. And the beanie part will be a head of hair. Depending on how much yarn I actually have left after I finish the beanie, which I should have a good amount because this is a big hank, I am hoping that he can make it into a mullet. So hopefully there will be a mullet hat sometime in the near future. I'll probably get the beanie part worked up, finished working up tonight, or maybe tomorrow, because I think I'm supposed to game with him tonight. So it might be tomorrow. And then it's going to be however long my husband takes to put the hair on the beanie. So that should be very fun. I am working it up on a US size J, which is a 6.0 millimeter. Crochet hook, no idea what type of, oh, it's a Susan Bates, I guess. I don't know. I buy a lot of yarn from people who are destashing at garage sales. So I get all kinds of random weird stuff and always find hooks and needles and stuff. So I rarely ever have to go and buy anything except for circulars, which is always good. But this is my one work in progress. I have one more work in progress that I'm currently working on. I have a couple that I've put to the side to finish hopefully getting all this Christmas stuff done. The other one is a pair of socks that were supposed to be for my husband for Christmas. Well, his Christmas present contained one sock because I didn't get to finish it. Bad. But his sock was taking a fairly long time to do, and that is not even the color. It's like this deep, pretty blue. Let's see. The sock pattern is a free pattern. It is called Golly by Nikki Miller. Now, I had some mistakes in the pattern because I would, 2-year-old running around, brain would go, and I would lose my place or forget where I was doing and not realize it until several rows down the row, and I wasn't about to go back. Oh, no. But it's this really pretty tree pattern, and it's got this little ridge here, and then it's got this ladder up the sides. But it's so pretty. Love it, love it, love it. This is one of the first times I actually bought some nice sock yarn because I'm a cheapskate and try and buy as cheaply as possible, which means I usually go on clearance racks and buy as much as I can on there, and then I usually don't know what to do with it. But I went in to my local yarn store, which love it. I try not to go there too often because then I spend too much money. But I went in because I wanted to make him a pair of socks. And I really don't have any sock yarn because I don't usually make socks. I usually just do quick, simple, easy things. Like amigurumis and, a quick hat here or there. Maybe a scarf or a cowl. But I wanted a nice pair of socks for him for Christmas. So found this pattern, wanted to learn how to do toe up, so I purposely looked for a toe up pattern, which I think I did pretty good. That's my toe. So I think it came out really pretty good. I have one little bitty of a bump right there, but and my husband, I think the pattern was supposed to stop, I think about here. I think that's where the pattern was supposed to stop. I think. Well, my husband likes his socks really long, so I had that much more. And then he wanted some thick ribbing, and it has not been blocked, so it's all still kind of funky, and I had to rip out my bind off because I didn't make it stretchy enough, so he couldn't get it over his calf, or it was too tight around his calf. That's what it was. So it's kind of curly there, but I'm learning. Now, this yarn, I'm going to tell you about it, is absolutely wonderful. I had to go get another skein of it because I fell in love with it while I was working on it. And I'll show you the unused skein. It is Lorna's Laces, and it's the Soulmate, which is 55% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and 30% Outlast Viscose. Super squishy, love it, soft. Oh, I'm making me something out of them next, the leftover. So, and the name, yeah, I should tell you the name of the color, right? bigger on the inside. So for all you Whovians, it's awesome. This is how it looks. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Super soft. I've never paid that much money for a skein of yarn in my life. But I might start doing it from now on. So, the reason why I got the second one, not only because I loved it so much, but also my yarn store, McNeedles in Lacombe, Louisiana, they recently, sometime this past year, I don't remember exactly when, they started a rewards program. So every, I think it's $200 you spend in their store, you will get a $20 like gift card, whatever, rewards to spend in their store on your next purchase. So when I went and bought this yarn for his sock initially, I had just went over that $200 mark. So I got my $20 rewards points. So I decided, while I was starting to work on his second sock, that, well, maybe I should go and pick up one more skein, just because he wanted it several inches longer than what the pattern said for, and I was already kind of pushing it a little bit, I think, because I'm not very good at gauging how much yarn is needed. So go ahead and get it, just in case I need a little bit more. And I was loving it so much that I figured I'll use it and make something for myself anyways, because I don't usually make stuff for myself. So I need to start doing that. So that's these socks. So this past weekend I picked his sock back up after putting it on a little bit of a hiatus so I could finish everyone else's Christmas presents, because I have to have one little more complicated one to do in the evenings or on the weekends when my husband takes our son out for a bike ride, which is usually a couple hours, and one that's super simple that I don't have to think about, so that whenever my son gives me that 10 minutes of time that he's going to go play by himself, I can sit down and hurry up and do a couple rows of something and have a sanity break. So this is where I'm kind of tangled. This is where I'm at. Just finished the first ridge, and I'm fixing to, or maybe I've already, yeah, I just did a couple rows of the next part of the pattern. So that's how far I've gotten. And if you notice, it's got kind of an extra string, if you can see it. I'm knitting it with an actual piece of thread in with it, just to be on the safe side, because my husband puts holes in his socks like there's nobody's business. And if I'm spending this much money on a pair of socks for him, and I'm spending all this time to do it, I'm going to try and make sure that he doesn't put a hole in it. Because I don't darn socks. I just don't. I throw them away when he's not looking and say, oops, here you go. You have, yep, yeah. So, this was a stash enhancement, by the way. Okay, that's it. I did just purchase a couple things. I have a Etsy shop that I sell hand-carved stamps on, and I've been letting my PayPal account kind of just go, and not really, I never really had that much in it to start off with, so I had like $50 in my PayPal account from a couple of stamps that I had sold in November and December. And figured, well, I'm really starting to like doing the socks. Let me see, I keep the podcasts I watch, they're always getting like these really pretty skeins of yarn for socks. Let me go in and see. So I just recently bought, now it's not a pair of yarn that I've heard of on any of those. But I got, just actually bought it like maybe an hour ago because I just felt the need to buy some yarn because I don't usually buy yarn for myself, and this one I actually wanted to buy for myself. I don't even know what their shop is. It looks like maybe Cap Fiber Arts. Capistrano Fiber Arts. I don't know. But she had a sale on some of her sock yarns. I guess making, from the way it says, she's making way for new ones. So this is the colorway that I bought. I got two skeins. I bought two skeins of it. Hopefully it'll come in before the next showing so I can show it all to y'all. And I can start working on something for me. That would be nice. I would like to have something that I made for myself instead of always giving everything away. So I bought that, and then I'm constantly seeing everyone's beautiful project bags on the podcasts. I don't own a single project bag. My projects are in pretty much any type of bag I can find. So some of them are in plastic bags, or in paper bags. I have one, yeah, it's just everywheres. So, or I just pile it all up on a shelf or something. And I lose a lot of stuff because I can't find it. So I figured, oh, I couldn't figure out another type of yarn to get, because I don't want to buy two things from this one person and not know if I'm going to like it. So I decided, I think I saw it on the Suburban Stitcher podcast. I think this is the same one. Think so. Hope so, because hers was beautiful. It's the Good to Be Girls medium knitting project bag, the Gasleys. I think this is it. It looked really, really pretty. It's the same one, I hope. I think I got the same one. Hope. So I bought that one so that I can put my sock yarns in that I've been kind of paying a little bit more money for. Instead of just, this is how I keep them. Anything special? I'm cheap. That's what it is. I am very cheap. That's probably why I don't make very many things for myself. Because I have all this yarn that I can make something for somebody instead of going out and buying them a present. So I just, yeah. So after that, I'm going to get into some of my other crafts. So I guess I'll start with my stamping, which I don't have a physical image of it anymore, I don't think, of what it looks like stamped. But during Christmas, I wanted to have a handmade stamp that I could use on my, to from things that I made. So I made, my sister-in-law drew up some holly patterns for me, and I kind of altered them slightly. And I made a holly stamp, which I will probably carve a couple of these up come October or November and put them in my shop so that if anybody wants them for Christmas next year, I'll have some already pre-made. So that was my latest one. I thought it came out cute. So that's that. And the other thing is my cry cutting. My son and nephew, sister-in-law, who drew up the hollies for me, is Finn. And their birthday is a year and a week apart. Or no. I don't know, like 11 months and 3 weeks apart. Nephew is exactly 1 week before my son's. So he will be turning 1 and my son will be turning 2. So we're going to do a joint birthday party the weekend in between. And since Finn doesn't really have anything that's his favorite right now because he's only 1, so he doesn't really, not yet. Next year it might be a problem. So my son loves Sesame Street, loves Sesame Street. Gotten big into Elmo and Cookie Monster and all that. So I was looking at some of the Cry-Cut cartridges because I needed something to do besides the preloaded things. So I found the Sesame Street, 2 of the Sesame Street ones, which you can no longer buy the cartridges on the Cry-Cut website because I think they've been discontinued, but I was able to download them to the craft room. So this is the start of the birthday invitations. Elmo. So I think it's cute. It's coming out good, considering I don't really know what I'm doing half the time. So that's pretty much it. Feel free to leave comments or anything. My husband hopefully will hook me up with I guess it's a WordPress website, so that, or blog or whatever it is, so that I can upload this and start letting people see my progress, and hopefully some of these projects will start to get done, because I'm not too big on starting tons of projects and then not getting around to them. I tend to only try and have a couple projects I'm working on. I do have 2 other projects that I have to the back burner. I have a sweater that I saw in one of the Vogue knitting magazines, and it's a lace pattern, so my brain just wasn't focusing on it, so I put it down after I did. It's like a bunch of triangles, so I did 1 triangle, started on another one, and then I put it down so I could start working on other things, Christmas stuff mostly. And then I have a blanket that I've been working on pretty much since I started knitting that I need to pick it back up because it's basically just all garter stitch. And it's just coming out really cute. And it's going to be nice, soft, and fluffy. So maybe if I work on those at all, if I get some of this stuff done, then I can tell you and show you about those next week. So that's all.